What's up, everybody, and welcome to ITG Daily, the show that brings you the hottest in gaming news. I'm Drew Bosley. You can find me on Twitter at ArtisticGamer28, and that's the one, the only Scott Savage. You can find him on Twitter at Savage. Scott, happy Friday, brother. What's going on?
Yes. Oh, long days, long nights. Some live, some die in the way of the samurai. That's how that song goes. And I'm feeling it today, man. Oh.
There you go. Well, you had a late night. You were working on a review, so shout out to that. Tell us a little bit.
Spent.
Well, yeah. Why don't you give us a quick recap? What did you cover for us here for Inside the Game?
It was known as Death's Gambit Afterlife, and I had not heard of the game prior to checking it out, but
sure.
I tripped into that one, and I think I fell down a rabbit hole here. I don't want to give too much away, but it was a good time. I'll say that.
Awesome. You can check that out over on our YouTube channel, as well as InsideTheGame.ca podcast services and TV streaming networks around the globe. Scott, coming up in today's daily show, though, Twisted Metal is back, and well, David Jaffe's feelings are a little hurt, apparently. The masters of remakes finally joined the family of PlayStation Studios. In the first year of Genshin Impact, well, it was successful, to say the least. Man, was it ever.
Yeah, if you ever open up Twitter, you know it's successful.
Well, just wait till we get to the... It made a ton of money in the first year. It's ridiculous. But either way, dude, let's move on to what's going on in the world of PlayStation. We got a couple things happening today for PlayStation. It's there's a lot to talk about, and it's pretty cool. I'm pretty pumped about this. And I'm curious to see your thoughts on this as well. Destruction All-Star Studio, Lucid is handed Twisted Metal Revival, and this comes as Andy Robinson over at VGC. PlayStation has handed its Twisted Metal series Revival to Destruction All-Stars developer Lucid Games. Sources have told VGC. Dude, did you expect to get another Twisted Metal at all?
No, I really thought that was the end of an era. Was the last one on PlayStation 3, if I recall?
Yeah.
That was quite a number of years ago now. I had a friend that dove into that so strongly. He actually wrote the user guide eventually, and I learned that there's a huge amount to that game. I thought it was just, cars, they shoot at each other and that was the end of it, but no.
Yeah, dude, Corey's gonna be pretty pumped for this, because we talked about what games we'd like to see come back from PlayStation, and Corey actually mentioned
that's right,
Twisted Metal, so he'll be pretty pumped. But according to the sources, the new Car Combat installment, which by release will be the series' first in over a decade, first started early development at the Liverpool, UK-based studio. One person with the knowledge of Lucid's plans suggested the revival would be built around a free-to-play model, partly in response to Destruction All-Stars' last-minute transition from a premium game to a PlayStation Plus title. Dude.
Okay, here's my opportunity. If it's free to play, Twisted Metal Battle Royale.
I was waiting for it. The release is planned to coincide with the upcoming TV series in 2023. They were told over at VGC. Now, we have a quote here. Quote, I think Sony got a... so here's where this falls in. This quote comes by the way of David Jaffe, the creator of the franchise, right? This was before this was announced. He says, he quotes, "I think Sony got a bloody nose financially from Destruction All-Stars, so I don't think they sat around saying, let's try another Car Combat title, and let's try one that historically has only done well in one territory. I don't see that," he said. Now, guess what? They just announced it, and his feelings are hurt about it. Now, here comes former Twisted Metal. So I got two articles, both from Andy Robinson over at VGC. So you can go check out the full article here, but I'm going to paraphrase what's going on here. Former Twisted Metal director David Jaffe has called a report that the Car Combat series being revived without his input hurtful, and told Sony you should have called. Dude's feelings are hurt. Like, really? You have nothing to do with Sony anymore at this point. So why would they, it's their IP.
You know what this looks like? It looks like a breakup, and Twisted Metal is moving on, but Jaffe is just not ready for it. And I understand that. I do feel what he's saying, but
sure,
at the same point, it is a business. You know they're going to use the IP if it's strong, and Twisted Metal was very strong.
Absolutely was strong, right? So yeah, they Lucid Games did Destruction All Stars, which, dude, I never even played, to be honest. Flat out, I did not play that game. It is one I definitely want to check out. I downloaded it because it was PlayStation Plus, so I got it on the download, but that is as far as I ever got, just because we were so busy and wrapped up in all of our other reviews. But David Jaffe goes on to say, quote, "Let's be clear. Sony owes me nothing. Our relationship ended somewhere in the late 2018, he said. But I will say that emotionally, it feels crappy, if any of this is true, to not have been contacted at all." Dude, it is business, right? I get he's a little hurt by it, but they don't have to call him for anything. He has nothing to tie into it anymore. He was original. I wonder
if they have a creative director, and maybe that's the awkward moment, because they don't want to bring it up to him and then we're not interested in you helping out. Like, it's just kind of a little bit of an awkward scenario, but it's unfortunate that it makes sense, but
of course it makes sense. It's a huge IP that's been sat dormant forever in the world of PlayStation, and the fact that it's taken them well over a decade to bring it back is a bit of a shocker as it is. But it's like going to Cory Barlog and say, "Hey, you know what? You may have quit us years ago, but we'll never use the IP of God of War again." That just wouldn't happen, right? Now he's not the director any longer. Anyways, he's now passed the reins off, which I understand. But the same point is, dude, they wouldn't go back to the director of the last game or the game before that if they want to bring back their own IP.
No, there's two scenarios though where that becomes tragic. In the case of Metal Gear, I would love to see them make another Metal Gear. We talk about this all the time, but what if they did so without Kojima?
We saw that it was called Metal Gear Survive, and we all know how well that went, right? So that's how
I choose to forget that exists. It's like the Zelda CD projects that I do not acknowledge. But the second kind of on par scenario with this is, what if Sakurai stops making Smash Bros? This is supposed to be the last one. The one prior was supposed to be the last one. What if he does call it quits? And in a decade, is it okay to revive that IP? You could make the argument either way, really.
You could, absolutely. I get where David Jaffe is coming from. You know what I mean? Hey, you didn't even consult me on the game I created. Ouch. Like, that does hurt a little bit, right? But at the same time, dude, it was 2018. You left PlayStation. You have nothing to do with their company anymore. When it comes, we know how business oriented PlayStation is. So they will just do what they want, and they don't need to contact him. And Konami will do the same thing if they want to revitalize Metal Gear, but that's not going to happen. So maybe one day when we get over into the world of Blue Point, which is our next story, because Sony Interactive Entertainment to acquire Blue Point Games. Yo, nice pickup and congrats. So this came in an actual press release I received this morning, and it's a big one. So needless to say, Blue Point Games has been an incredible partner to work with over the years, and craftsmanship they've demonstrated on past projects is impeccable, says Jim Ryan, president and CEO of Sony Interactive Entertainment. Why? It's just whatever. PlayStation. The addition of Blue Point to PlayStation Studios further demonstrates our continued focus on investing in and foresting creative teams with we're confident we'll deliver world-class gaming experiences for our fans. That's right. Blue Point Games finally now a part of the world of PlayStation. They got purchased this morning. We saw Herman Hulst come out and congratulate the team that they've now been acquired as well. We recently know them from working on, for a multitude of titles and successful titles and remaking titles to just a whole other level. Demon's Souls being the latest coming over on PlayStation 5. Yeah. Yo, man, like the fact that they weren't already a part of PlayStation, you looked at Blue Point as already being in that family. And it was
I kind of just assumed that they were based on their past works. And
nope.
I guess this closes the door on some of the Xbox things I would like to see remade, but there's no time for that.
Right? But dude, maybe now we can get a remake for Metal Gear. Come on, Blue Point, let's go. Dude.
Or, Ubisoft, you haven't done much with Splinter Cell lately. That's the other one that I think of every single time.
Pass it over, man.
Just somebody, please.
Absolutely. Oh, dude, that'd be great. So, very exciting to see. But are they working now, Scott? Because they've been doing remake after remake after remake. do they continue down that path? Because we've heard from Jim Ryan saying that they want to bring back some of their old titles. Do they remake those from the ground up, or do we get Blue Point onto something brand new?
Oh, a new Jack and Daxter would be pretty cool.
Whoa.
But
oh man,
likewise, so would a brand new original IP, and from somebody who handles some of these great titles. Demon Souls in the hands of anybody is kind of risky, but as far as I know, they landed a perfect home run. So
sure did.
I have high hopes for anything they work on next. I really have confidence with them.
No, me too. There's like they haven't done anything wrong at all, right?
No.
Everything they've produced has been just stellar, and it's just
if you had one remake that you would like to put them on in the world of PlayStation, do you have an easy go-to?
It would be Metal Gear. Like Metal Gear 1 was a PlayStation.
Yeah. I should have known.
Yeah, absolutely. It's tattooed on my arm. It's a go-to. Metal Gear all the way has to be redone. But because of how where that IP lands, if we're going first party, dude, I am going to Jack and Daxter. I grew up on that franchise, and they have disappeared. Like they have vanished, dude. That is gone. We saw Naughty Dog move on. We've seen them work now over on Uncharted. Uncharted is now gone. Rumors of that are flying back again a little bit, though, to see what comes next out of the Naughty Dog for Uncharted, if anything at all. We are getting the remake of Uncharted 4 and Lost Legacy, which brings high hopes. And, dude, I'm looking forward to jumping back into those, because what an experience that was. I'm a big Uncharted fan, but because they moved on to The Last of Us, dude, Jack and Daxter just disappeared. Like that was the end of them. They're gone. And
they closed that office. That office got cleaned out long ago.
Afraid so. But what's not getting cleaned out is the office over at the team for Genshin Impact, because it generated $2 billion on mobile in the first year. This comes from Craig Chappell over his Sensor Tower. Wow. Dude.
So they not only have yachts, they have their own jets. They may have their own airport at this point.
Wow. Genshin Impact from MiHoYo has generated approximately $2 billion in worldwide player spending across the App Store and Google Play in the year following its official launch on September 28, 2020. Sensor Tower Store intelligence data shows. That is massive numbers, man. Holy.
Yes.
That is incredible. So during the first year, Genshin Impact was the number 3 in the first year, generating mobile game globally, not including spending through third-party Android stores, behind Tencent's Honor of Kings. Of course, man, that was at number 1, and PUBG Mobile at number 2, and above Pokemon Go and from Niantic's, and number 4 at Roblox. Roblox comparison at number 5, excluding China. Genshin Impact ranked as the number 1 top grossing mobile game worldwide, ahead of Pokemon Go, and number 2 at Roblox at number 3. Just cha-ching. That's incredible. I've yet to play that game, dude. Have you played it at all?
I did. I played maybe for 3 or 4 hours, and it definitely checks the box, but it wasn't necessarily my kind of game.
Sure.
It didn't quite hook me.
So one of the PR contacts I talked to a lot, actually, Woot over at Evolve PR, shout out to Woot. Dude's fantastic. He loves this game, and he plays it, and he's always talking about it on Twitter. And man, I'm like, maybe one day I'll actually jump in. It is free to play. Dude, it's free to play.
Yeah.
At $2 billion. Free to play, $2 billion. Like, clearly the free to play model works, and it works really well. So
I suspect there's a lot of loot boxes behind that, but in any case, it's still impressive.
I believe there's actually an absolute ton of loot boxes. I think all your characters are locked behind other boxes. And
that's right.
Right? So you want to play as a new character, you have to go buy that character. But, it's working. That model works, and it works really well for them. And people like to spend the money on that game in particular. And it looks great, but it's got that whole anime style. And I'm not a big anime guy, but it does have me on the, this close to the download clicking button scenario.
It sort of looks like an 80s anime to me, which is cool.
You think so?
I like it.
Nice. Dude, let's get into what's going on over at Crystal Dynamics, because I'm a little shocked that this hasn't been in the forefront of the news more recently than just nailing it today, because Tomb Raider game will continue the series cinematic style according to the job listing. This comes from Hope Bellingham over at Games Radar. Tomb Raider developer Crystal Dynamics appears to be gearing up for the next installment of the series according to a new job listing. Crystal Dynamics, which has previously developed a number of games in the Tomb Raider series, including the Rise of Tomb Raider in 2015 and Tomb Raider 2013, is currently looking for a lighting artist who can demonstrate a similar cinematic style to the latest Tomb Raider reboot. We're in, like, I think it's anniversary. Their Tomb Raider anniversary is the 25th year, I think, is what they're celebrating.
It's 25th, yeah.
It is, right? Yeah. So that's where they're at right now. And honestly, dude, I thought they would have had something lined up already for a new Tomb Raider game. The fact we have yet to see anything is really
they may
shocking.
have just wavered back and forth between, is it worth it to do it, or have we kind of, have we already landed? We've already hit the goalpost, but
yeah,
it's an awesome trilogy. The latest one I was super sucked into.
Nice.
I want to say it was one of my favorite Assassin's Creed games. Is that? I know it's a little strange, but
that is awful. Get out of here! No, you can't do that to me. Come on.
Okay. Well, it was like Uncharted, but better.
Oh man! Scott has just disappeared from the show. I don't know where he went.
Oh no.
You can hear him, you just can't see him anymore. No, he's still there.
Oh, that means you got to take all the anime RPGs now. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah, dude. The fact that we have yet to see another Tomb Raider is really surprising. But it sounds like they're working on something new. I just can't believe it's taken them this long. I think it's one of those things. Crystal Dynamics is working on a lot of stuff right now, so their plates are pretty full as it is, right, with Marvel's Avengers, and then they just announced that they're working with the Initiative to work on Perfect Dark, and now they're lining up something, right? So now they're lining up this for another Tomb Raider. I just thought they would have aligned it to go with the 25th anniversary.
I like the style behind it. That they're specifically looking for a cinematic style similar to these already established reboots. Have you ever played any of them enough to see a death sequence?
Oh, dude, I played these games. These games are incredible.
Oh, yes. But the one memory that sticks out is every time I made a mistake and was shown a very gruesome death. The cave-ins, the water, it's things that really hit me because it was just so extreme.
Yeah. No, I thought they were great. I don't think they sold overly well to then keep that series going, right? They were able to do the trilogy. That's kind of where it stopped. But I thought, like, they had a following and people would play it. And I played it and enjoyed it. I never finished them though, dude. Like, I never finished the games. So that was one of my problems.
There's only one I'm missing.
Oh, really? Well, it's one of those things. It sits on my library and I go, oh, I got to get back to that one, right? Oh, I got to get back to that. But right now I'm onto this, that, and the other. So it's hard for me to get back over. But it's always one of those kind of those guilty things that are on my backlog of shame kind of thing, right? But we all, man, the backlog
we
just
all
keeps
have
growing.
One of those.
Yeah.
Our backlog is hundreds long.
It's unfortunate, really, but it is what it is.
A good problem to have, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely not complaining, but at the same time, man, I really like. It would have been nice to finish those, right? Right now, I'm going back to finish Odyssey. So that one's when you compare these to that, man,
we'll check in another 1,000 hours.
Dude, you take a look on the map and you're like, oh, are you kidding? Like, are you kidding? Do Ubisoft, you ever make a small game?
We're almost at planetary size.
Yeah, exactly. Wait till we get Beyond Good and Evil 2 in 2029. So the sooner
fingers crossed.
Yeah. All right, let's move on because we're talking about Grand Theft Auto, the trilogy. The definitive edition was rated in Korea. This comes from Stephanie Nunelli over at VG247. A rating for Grand Theft Auto, the trilogy, the definitive edition, has been filed with Games Rating and Administration Committee, which published documentation today. Reports of the three games getting remakes were first revealed in August via Kotaku report, which has been backed up by Gamasutsa. So, we're getting the Grand Theft Auto trilogy, which is awesome.
Yeah, long rumored, but it's great to hear something solid. At least it seems solid. I've been thinking about that since I heard the rumors, and
absolutely.
I am ready for that. There's only so many times I can play Grand Theft Auto 5 without thinking about San Andreas and Vice City. And
I'm curious, how much of a remake do you think these are going to be? So it's said that it's being recreated in the Unreal Engine. So that's a huge step moving forward, right? So yeah, new and old graphics will be released in a single package, as you can probably gleaned into the title of the release. Now, Rockstar Dundee also, which is also working on bringing the GTA 5 to next-gen consoles, is said to be the main developer behind the remakes as well. So we're getting GTA 3, Grand Theft Auto Vice City, and Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. So this released in 2001,
big three.
2002, and 2004. Like, how many people haven't even played those now, Scott? Think about that.
I can't believe it's that long ago now. That was 20 years ago was GTA 3. I was 9 years old. You know, that makes sense. I do remember playing it as a kid. Way too young for it, but...
Of course. That's how everybody plays Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah.
But the trilogy is said to be set in October or early November to release on PS4, PS5, Stadia, Switch, Xbox One, and... That what do you call it, Scott? The family of Xboxes.
Yeah, I just started saying one S and X.
That's right. Yeah. So it's also said to be coming to Android and iOS as well as PC, and these versions may be released in 2022. So
yeah,
a lot of rumors right there.
To do.
Well, yeah, dude, there's a lot of rumors flying out and about. But GTA trilogy on its way. But hopefully sooner than later. And how excited are you to jump back into those, dude? Like the last time I played GTA 3 was probably 20 years ago.
I think it's the same for myself too. Vice City, of course, shortly after that. But San Andreas is the most recent one I played, and I really liked that. Going through it again, I'm gonna put myself out there. I liked it more than Grand Theft Auto 5. 4 is kind of a unique one. It stands on its own, but
it does.
San Andreas was just a perfect hit for me, and
nice.
That thought in my head, I really want to have that experience with Vice City again. 3, you know, I remember the intro of 3 because I think I started it 100 times.
I remember driving my car into a garage, getting a bomb. Planted in it and then leaving and then blowing people up with it.
8-Ball. Your buddy 8-Ball hooks you up.
Yeah, but dude, I really want to play Vice City. Like, if they're gonna make this an Unreal, like how unreal will it be to see all the neon lights and stuff in Vice City? Like, it's gonna be incredible if they make it as an actual remake and not a remaster. I think that's the biggest difference, right? Are we going to get a remaster or is it a complete remake of the game? And that's the biggest point. And dude, like these Rockstar Dundee's got to be real busy because they're also making the GTA 5 new edition for next gen consoles, which is crazy. So
yeah, no, you know they're trying to rush that out too, just to I hope just to kind of close a beginning and an end to Grand Theft Auto 5. It's been going on for so long now. You know, I want to see them move on, but
for sure,
that's another topic.
Yes, it certainly is. And I think it's time for us to move on to what game announcements and releases do we have today, Scott?
We have FIFA 22, and that's on the PlayStation 4, 5, Xbox One, S and X, and on PC as well. Then we have Phoenix Point, and that is coming to the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4.
There you go, Scott. That was quite the show today, dude. Lots to talk about, man. Are you a FIFA fan at all? The soccer?
No, you know, I haven't. I'm not certain that I've played more than one game of FIFA.
I'm not.
I think it was like FIFA 06.
Oh man, yeah, I don't remember last time I played FIFA either. FIFA is not my game at all. Right now, honestly, it's MLB The Show. That's where I'm at. And I just saw today that they actually announced a competition, so I'll be looking at that one. That's for sure. Phoenix Point, Corey and I checked out over on Stadia actually, and now it's making its way over on the PS4 and Xbox One. We had mixed feelings on that game. I'm gonna be completely honest. That one didn't really strike home the way we kind of hoped for. It's by the creators of XCOM. I'm sure it's seen a heck of a lot of updates since then, but it's just not really our kind of game. Which, well, it is, but it's not. It was just kind of, it left us a little dry. But Scott, that's gonna leave us for today. It's been ITG Daily, everybody. Thank you for hanging out with us. You can always catch us over at InsideTheGame.ca, podcast services and TV streaming networks around the globe. I'm Drew, that's Scott, and everybody, have a great weekend, and we'll see you inside the game.